You get a letter in the mail, maybe an email with an attachment that says there's a change happening to your investment lineup within your 401k. Is this a good thing? Anything you need to do? I'll explain that and more coming up. My name is Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. All right, so if you're an investor, I mean, you get lots of spam, junk mail or whatever, right? There in the financial industry, there's obviously lots of red tapes, lots of regulations, and so on. And so you're gonna get a lot of spam. You're gonna get a lot of email. You're gonna get a lot of prospectuses, junk mail. Now in some instances, you can suppress those, and I hope that you've suppressed as many of them as you should. Actually, you should read all of those fully and to every detail. And no, most of us don't do that, but there's a lot of regulations to make sure that things are on the up and up and that you're informed about things, and so you're going to get a lot of that mail. All right, so, but one of them, if you have a 401k, you know which one I'm talking about. We get, as advisors, we get this question, gosh, a dozen times a year, maybe probably more than that, where an individual reaches out and they say, hey, I just got this from my 401k, anything I need to do. And it's a letter. And it's a letter that says there's a change happening within your 401k. We're getting rid of this fund and we're adding this fund. Is this good news? Right? So why are they making this change? Is it good news or is it bad news? And what do you need to do? So first, why are you getting this? What does this mean? So there is actually, hopefully, some very astute individuals that are responsible for overseeing the operation of your 401k, your retirement plan, the design, the features, and yes, the investments. And when this is done right and not on autopilot, and I'm sad to say there are just a lot that are on autopilot. And that's one of the reasons why we have a full retirement plans department. Not only do our CFPs help clients review their 401k, make sure that they're using it to the fullest potential and kind of crafting the right investment structure and the right investment mix for them to invest into. But at Korhorn Financial Group, we have a full retirement plans department team that is helping small businesses and businesses with their 401k, making sure it's got the right features, but also the right investments and scrutinizing those and making sure the costs are appropriate and all of that sort of stuff, right? And so hopefully, you've got that team of folks looking at your 401k and doing an assessment of the investments within your 401k, ensuring that they're prudent, that they're suitable, that they're appropriate. Those aren't, fancy terms. Suitable, it can be industry jargon, but that they're a good fund. It's a good fund and should be accessible and available to you. Well, every so often, as these companies are doing this review, a fund should be on the watch list because either it's not performing well compared to the index or compared to its peer group. They've had a manager change. They've had a change in their philosophy or approach. They've had a change in their fee structure. I mean, we have a 13-point inspection that we run all the funds through to take the full, thousands and thousands of mutual funds out there in the entire universe, and we screen based on 13 different criteria, those that I just mentioned and more, that whittles it down to just a handful that we feel are prudent, are approved, are appropriate, okay? So hopefully the folks that are managing and overseeing your 401k, they're doing that sort of review as well. And if a fund starts to lose track or they've changed some things, it might go on the watch list, and if it doesn't improve, then those responsible parties need to make a change. And what they'll do then is they'll say, we've got to get rid of this one fund. It's no longer meeting our criteria. And we've got to add a new fund in this same category that meets our criteria. So that's what it means. It should mean someone's overseeing and looking at the fund. Maybe the fund that you were using closed or something like that. So someone should be looking at this, and this is an indication that we're getting rid of one fund, we're adding another, therefore someone believes that that's an appropriate move within the 401k. So then is this a good thing or is it a bad thing? Well, it's kind of both, actually. It really depends. It's a good thing that someone is looking over your investment choices and looking out for you. That is definitely good. It's a bad thing that you've had a fund on here that needs to be replaced. It's a good thing that maybe it's being replaced by a fund that has a better track record. But it's a bad thing in that you don't know the scrutiny that actually went into it. What's the process for looking at, well, this fund should be replaced and therefore this other fund is better? Would you agree if you were doing that on your own assessment, or would your CFP agree to that? Maybe the fund that you were using or that was in the fund is a very niche and has a very unique investment approach to it, and the performance was just fine and it's a great fund, but the overseers of the 401k just said, yeah, we don't really want to have that eclectic or that niche type investment anymore. We just want more plain vanilla. That could be a bad thing. So is it good? Is it bad? It really depends. Oftentimes, in my opinion, these are probably a good thing, even though bad that the fund that was in the 401k really wasn't holding its water, wasn't doing that great anymore. But typically it's a good thing because a better fund is being offered and available to you amongst the limited choice you have in your 401k. And then finally, is there anything you need to do? And that depends as well. Oftentimes, it's just going to be, well, we're getting rid of this fund and we're adding a new fund, and any dollars in the old fund are automatically going to be mapped into the new one. And if that's okay with you, then there really isn't anything you need to do. But if they're not replacing it, if they're just getting rid of this fund, then it might be mapped into cash, or the current fund might be mapped into something else. And that's maybe not what you want. Or this could be a trigger to say, yeah, actually, maybe I better look at my allocation and maybe I want to change things anyway. So if you get this notice and you don't even own this fund, there is nothing you need to do, okay? And that actually happens all the time. If you get this notice and it's a fund you do own and it's being mapped into a new fund that you actually say, I should own that one. And so therefore, yes, have it mapped. There's nothing you need to do. But if the fund is being replaced or not being replaced and it's being mapped, those funds are being mapped into something different, or if you don't like the new fund that it's being mapped into, this is where you've got to work with your certified financial planner and take a look and say, all right, let's look at the entire mix that we have. Is this still the right risk level that I should be taking? And have we cherry-picked the right funds? Are we using the right diversification, the right mix? I mean, this is one of the frustrations of us CFPs that are doing comprehensive financial planning for our clients. Is very rarely do you look at a 401k and say, okay, I've got all the right pieces here. I've got all the pieces to build a well-diversified, prudent portfolio. Oftentimes it's just lacking. And there's lots of reasons for that. I've done videos on that before, but this could be a reason why you want to work with your CFP and say, let's just review everything and make sure that I'm investing in the right things and I've got the right mix, and even with this fund change, I'm using the right funds. Your 401k, arguably your largest wealth building tool, and you want to get it right. And unfortunately, you're going to have very few investment choices within your 401k, and you don't have full control over when one is added and when one is removed. That's why you've got to work with a certified financial planner. If you're just working with someone who's trying to sell you investments, they don't care about your 401k. Even if you're working with someone who's looking at all your investments, they might not care about your retirement or your risk level or all other areas of your financial plan, your tax picture, those sorts of things. You need someone that's looking at all 6 areas of your financial life, because, just quick side comment, if someone is helping you use the right funds within your 401k, but you should be funding the Roth side of your 401k as opposed to the pre-tax, they're not really helping you. Or are you one of the unique individuals, or maybe not so unique, that, yeah, Roth, but you know what? The best thing for you is still contributing pre-tax. If your financial advisor, financial planner who's giving you guidance on your 401k isn't helping you with those things, they're not giving you enough help. So you got to work with a certified financial planner, one that's doing comprehensive financial planning. If you don't have one of those on your team, contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K, wisemoneyshow.com. You can find us there as well, or send us an email, info@Korhorn.com. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.